There's Moda 13, and I'm still lost. I'm pretty sure I am lost now. I might actually... No, I'm not even sure if I'm heading back the way I came in. Maybe I am. But I'm in some, like, gorgeous mountain road that no one travels on, and it's really kind of amazing. Anyways, I'm going to try to pick another topic here, and the topic's going to be, is Moda 13 really such a nice guy? And the reason why I picked this topic is because I have, a couple of videos where I try to help stray dogs and stuff, and then I get all these comments like, wow, you're such a nice guy, you have a nice heart and all that. And it makes me uncomfortable because, well, for one thing, I'm not that great with compliments to begin with. And for another thing, I'm not that nice of a guy. I'm a pretty cold bastard, Ask my roommates. Ask my girl. Oh yeah, I'll give you some Moda 13 asshole stories. You'll find them somewhat funny, and they'll show you that I'm not such a nice guy. Here's an example. It's usually for humor, you know what I mean? I do things for humor value, but other people don't see the humor in it, and then they just think I'm an asshole, but in actuality I'm just trying to be funny, and I think it's funny, so I don't really care if they don't, but that's part of me being an asshole, right? I don't care if they don't. So, here's an example. I'm walking along with my, I think I recorded this before, but I'm guessing I didn't upload it. I'm with one of my ex-girlfriends in Taiwan, a Taiwanese girl. And this girl, I was her second boyfriend ever. She was like 21. I was like 27-ish at the time. And she's an extremely sweet girl. Like, just too sweet, okay? She was subservient. She would do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. If I told her, like, if I was hungry, I could invite her over and tell her, yeah, on your way over, swing by Burger King and pick me this up and blah, 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 and then drop it off here. And, I might not even necessarily want to see her. I might just be hungry, and that's why I invited her over, you know what I mean? And then, there you go. See, I'm a bit of an asshole already. And she was just the sweetest, nicest girl ever, Like, it was just... And she was sexual, and she was good-looking. And I'm not getting along with her right now, so maybe I'll throw a picture in if I'm feeling especially nasty at the time. Anyways, yeah, one time she liked to hold hands, okay, and I don't like to hold hands, mainly because my walking stride is different than most people. It's like I'm kind of an aggressive walker, and I take big steps, and girls don't do that, so when I hold their hands, it kind of fucks up my tempo or whatever. So... I tried waving to those scooters, but they just ignored me and didn't wave back. I thought maybe, I don't know, it's a habit of riding motorcycles. So anyways, look at this plant. Look how bright it is. What is this thing? It's just the leaves, but they're like... maybe there's some disease and that's why they're bright. Anyways, back to the story. So we're walking, she likes to hold hands and I don't. And even though she knows I don't like hands, she'll often when we're walking somewhere, she'll take my hand, and I'll usually just like let go of it right away, and then she'll like do a cutesy pouting thing. She's one of those cutesy Asian girls that they actually like practice at being cute. So they'll do stuff like, like they'll pout, they'll stick their lip out to pout, and they'll shake their head and like stomp their feet when you say something that like teases them or something like. I like it to a degree, to a certain degree. It's attractive, but not too much. Anyway, so we're walking along, and she tries to take my hand, to hold my hand, and I let go of it, and then she's like, and then I'm like, well, why do you like to hold my hand anyways? Like, what's the point? Why do you like holding hands? And I want to get out of here, so I'm thinking I should go left. I'm like, yeah, what pleasure does it give you holding my hand? Like, what's the point of it? And her answer was, well, when I hold your hand, it makes me feel safe. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I give her my hand, and she happily accepts it, and we keep walking along, and we're in a park, and So we walk about 10 more feet, and I take the hand that I'm holding on to, and I swing her and slingshot her into a bush. Like fully, like she's in the bush, and I kind of spun her around first, so she kind of, when I let go, she went into the bush backwards, so she's kind of like, her butt's in the bush, and she can't really climb out because there's nothing to grab onto because it's all like branches around her. And then I look at her trapped in the bush, and I go, I bet it doesn't feel so safe now. And I thought that was so funny. It was just, you know, like, I wasn't trying to hurt her, obviously, or be cruel. It was just the punchline, you know, like, I like to hold your hand because it feels safe. And then so I take her hand, and then I fling her into some bushes, and I go, doesn't feel so safe anymore now, does it? You know? She didn't see the humor in it, though. It's just, I know that if that was in a movie, the audience would laugh, okay? Like, if some guy in a movie did that, I think the audience would laugh, male and female both. But in real life, I guess it doesn't translate the same. So, I got a scooter behind me, and he's pacing me, which is odd, because I'm going really slow right now. Or maybe he's just impressed by the fact that I'm doing everything with only one hand, and with the other hand, I'm like talking to myself, so he's maybe just afraid to pass me because he thinks I'm insane. It's cool, in one of my videos, I'm like, you can see my shadow on the road, I guess the sun's behind me, and the shadow projects forward, and in the shadow, you can see my hand moving around as I'm talking, but in the viewfinder, you can't see it. So the point is, even when you can't see my hand at all, it's still moving around and motioning and pointing and doing, like, you know, I'm still speaking with my hands even when they're not in the viewfinder or in the screen, which is kind of funny. Yeah, so how else am I an asshole? I don't know, like, I'm kind of cold. Well, first of all, I'm a loner. Like, I'm not a sociable person. I don't like going to people's houses and hanging around with a bunch of people and talking, and I don't like going to cafes. I don't like socializing for the most part. I don't know. I'm a hard guy to get along with, especially considering the fact that I'm rude most of the time. You know, when I speak to my roommates, I pretty much just call them, like, hey bitch, and hey pussy, and hey fag boy, what are you doing? And that's about how I speak to them on a daily basis, you know, and they're kind of used to it, but I still don't think they like it. I'm gonna let this guy pass. He's been behind me for a while. So yeah, I'm not a polite guy. Well, that's not true. If you're my friend, I'll treat you like shit. If I don't know you very well, I'm extremely polite. Okay, that's an exaggeration. I don't treat my friends like shit. But I am rude, you know, like, it's just kind of an odd sense of humor, I guess. But yeah, but I'm an extremely polite person when it comes to, like, dealing with people in stores, or I'd make a good salesman because I'm extremely polite with people I don't know. But with people I know, I tend to get, I tend to find out, once you're my friend, I'll kind of, like, test the limits of what I can get away with. And if you're a smart person, you'll probably just give me a punch in the stomach right near the beginning, you know? Don't let me get away with too much, because once I figure out I can get away with a lot, I'll do a lot. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I'd say I have a good heart, but I'm still a bit of an asshole.